Hi, I'm Rachelle with Originally Worn, and in this video I'm going to show you how I turn an ordinary laminate desktop into a faux concrete desktop. Hope you enjoy! So we'll be working on this big, massive desk in this video. It is a good 4 or 5 feet long. I think 5. Here's my hands, and they're not even reached the whole side. So that'll be really cool with it's a faux concrete top. And we're going to be using for our first step Annie Sloan French linen and a big, round, beautiful Annie Sloan natural bristle brush. The reason why I want to use this kind of brush in this is because I'm going to be going in all sorts of different directions and kind of flailing my brush in all different ways. And I want the texture of that paint and of that brush strokes to be present, because that's what's going to help grab all the different layers that we're going to do on top of this base coat of French linen. So let's get to work. So now you can see how I crazy painted in all directions with a big round Annie Sloan brush. And I'm gonna let this dry, and then on the second layer you're gonna see me go over with the same color, Annie Sloan French linen, and kind of not do it quite so crazy, but as the paint's almost dry, I'm gonna take a different brush and I'm gonna drag the almost dry paint to kind of create this texture of like when you trowel concrete, it makes these lines. So I'm going to attempt to do that. I've never done it before. We'll see if it works. Forgive me, I'm pretty sweaty and gross here. We're working in the garage. It's summer right now, and the kids are here, and they're playing in the pool right outside. And so, oh, not Branson, he's not playing right now. No, just Parker's out there. Anyway, so I grabbed that big brush I just showed you in the video randomly out of my stash that's in here. I'm not even sure where or when I got that big brush. I'm sure it's for some sort of faux finishing from the 90s. I don't know, maybe it's my mother-in-law's. I'm not really sure. Anyway, it worked really cool for what I was doing. So here, I'll show you what texture it made. So I'm not sure how well you can see this texture as it's drying, but it's like that big brush drug through there. You see those little lines? I just did them up and down in one direction and then across in the next direction till I kind of got the look that I wanted. I'm hoping to look for kind of concrete, of course. So, you know, when they first kind of trowel and lay it down, this is, you know, really smooth for them, but that's what I'm hoping for.
I like this new sponge.
Now that I have some great texture on here, I'm going to take this crazy cool faux brush I have and this large flat Annie Sloan brush and cocoa and graphite and kind of do a technique that is like a dry brush kind of drag, but I'm going to be very conscious of how I put it on, and then I'm going to kind of blend it out these ways to kind of make these shady patches that you get when you see concrete. There's these areas that are like distinct colors, but then they don't have really harsh lines, but they're not faded away either. So we're gonna have kind of a mix of mushing these in, and then after these two dark colors dry, I'll probably go back with old white and old ochre and just keep layering back and forth. So now I have the graphite and the cocoa on here, and I'm gonna go back with Old Ochre and Paris Gray now and do the same thing. I found that using my big round Annie Sloan brush worked better than either of those two flat brushes. So I'm just gonna keep working with them. And then I also have a spray bottle too now that you might see me use if I need to kind of thin it out and I wanna mush all these colors together in the end so they don't look like crazy. It's not like a geode thing going on here. So let's see what happens. So now I've put in all these different kind of splotchy spots of graphite and Old Ochre and cocoa and Paris Gray. In fact, a couple of them are still pretty wet. Now I'm going to make a wash of French linen again, which was our base color. And I'm going to try to put it all over everything, but still in the very like this direction, then up and down. To tone everything together then. The wash I made is about 70% water to 30% French linen. Last night after I finished the wash, I thought that that was going to be it, but all night long it kept bothering me, and it kept kind of not having enough variation to it, and I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do next on it though, because I did really like it. So I wanted to show you what I did next. I didn't do it on a video because a lot of times when I'm doing these videos, it's not something I've done over and over again. It's just something I'm trying and creating, and I'm just happy to film it. That's why I'm sweaty in the garage and the kids are running around, because that's the fun of this for me, is experimenting with the different paint finishes. So let me show you the brush I used and what I came up with. This morning then I ended up taking this sponge, sea sponge roller, and taking a graphite and a Paris Gray and kind of going around with everywhere. There's a couple places that are still wet, you can see here. I'll stop so I can focus in there. I thought that that gave it a little bit more, it might be too spotty now. I'm not even sure. Like, here's my actual concrete floor. Here's the top. You know, there's concrete behind it. So I think it's a lot more of the natural concrete look. And then after I did this with the sea sponge roller.
Hi. Hi, YouTube.
There's Branson. I told you I just do this in my garage sometimes.
Here's Parker.
Yeah, there's Parker. After I did the sea sponge roller everywhere, I also went back over it with a French linen wash. And that's kind of what you can see now here. It's heavier in some areas, or it's still drying. And then I will go over it with a top coat. Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow Originally Worn on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and like and share and subscribe. Happy painting!